Okay, happy Tuesday, holiday week. Is everyone here? Excited for another collaboration chat? Oh my goodness, it is halfway through February. Are you ready for that? I think we're going. All right, audio is good, sounding good. So welcome everyone. If this is your first time here to the collaboration chat, the point of these is to be able to answer your questions and more live. And so whether you can attend live or not, they're always recorded. They're always posted here on LinkedIn. And it just gives a chance like you can ask questions. I get a lot of great questions in the inbox. And if anyone has looked at their email lately, managing your day-to-day and what you're going to do, talk about, engage and collaborate with, it's hard if you're going to manage it through the inbox. So some of those great questions I get and topics to do, I put out here on the collaboration chat because what's better than one person getting the answer is when lots of people can get an answer. Not to mention is that then we also can ask more questions. We can explore a topic and more. And so today we're going to explore a topic that's really interesting about capturing visually your notes, especially like a lot of work, business analysis, project management, change managers do, because we go to a lot of meetings, we coordinate more. And so I want to give the space today for the collaboration chats to actually go through some. I've got my desktop ready, hopefully, with all the technology fun we always have. Is I wanted to show you a few things and thought that it might be helpful, like so you can see it because of the power of visually sharing what everyone is talking about. And do people know what your work is? I love the discussion that we always talk about because people, they never say they want a business analyst. Even sometimes they may not say, we don't need a project manager, right? That's another body, another resource. Yet they'll be like, I want Joe on every project I do. I'm not sure exactly what Joe's role was or title, but whatever Joe did, man, that was awesome. Normally, they're doing good analysis work. They're helping uncover root causes, understand the true needs, and help define, recommend good solutions. And that's what all our work is to do. So notes is a big part of it. We're going to talk a lot of notes. I'm going to put them here and try to show you some as we go. But again, the collaboration chats are every month. We do one of these. And so that, remember, you can always connect with me. I know my wonderful here. Connect over here. And you can join me on these chats live, ask your questions live, see it live. They're always recorded. And that's the coolest part. If you want to add your comments, the comment section of every event, you can add in your comments of what questions you have and what you want to see answered during these sessions. So I've got again, a great topic for today, visually capturing notes. And then I want to have another discussion. I think we've got about some business analysis career paths next month. So on that, make sure and join us. I'll put the link up again, but just so that we can know that, again, these are every month. And so if you're watching the recording, make sure you can sign up for next month's chat. You can always go there. And basically, you just reminder on LinkedIn, and it'll ping you when I go live, when it's about to happen, as well as when the recording's ready. So don't be afraid to grab that. So, but today we're going to talk about our visual ways we capture notes. And if you know me, I'm a big fan of the visuals. An image speaks more than 1,000 words. And that's really important when you're trying to get people on the same page. Like, think about that. Literally, we are trying to get people on the same page. And are they actually picturing the same thing as you? I always ask this question. We always, in my requirements classes, I ask people to draw a pig, the farm animal, please. We've had a few pieces, but, when I say pig, draw your favorite pig, and I'll get 20 different pigs drawn. Gave the same requirement, but not everyone is picturing the same thing. I said ice cream. Tell me your favorite flavor of ice cream or dessert. We get a million different choices because what's in my head isn't necessarily what's in your head. And that's the part where the visual powers come into play. So again, we had some great questions on this discussion that wanted to take a look at because like I say, the visually capturing notes, requirements, processes, and more. And so, like you say, that thinking about how we visually collaborate and engage. And let's just show the power of this. Let's just start here, okay? And we're going to start simple. Going to get dangerous. I'm going to show you things live, so bear with me. Here we go. All right. So now you can see my screen here. Hopefully it's just a Word document. I have just a plain old, word processing document here. So a Google Note or Google Page, anything like that, just Word document works fine here, easy enough. But what I'll do is I'll get some clarity and I'll just make it bigger, but I'll share notes and I'll say like the goal and I'll leave it here and I'll let project, install server, new server. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, got it. So our project here today, kickoff, is install new server. What was the reason for this? Oh, because we have to. The old server is out of date. Oh, warranty. Okay, it's not date. See, just by typing your notes in front of people, it's slow and painful. Some people don't like to watch, but I quickly get feedback. And so if I just keep tracking my notes here, and so I love this. Let's see, let's just go back. There we go. And we'll go, all right, so let's go ahead and people talk about, let's talk about the task, good old project management pieces here. All right, so I'll just start task and then say assigned. They're saying, oh yeah, we need to do this. Okay, we need to review old SOPs, standard operating procedures. Someone needs to remove the old system. Let's see, did we purchase new system? And I'll just keep making notes as they're talking. This is everything they're saying. I'm the wanting to direct the conversation a little bit more. And I'll put on here, I'll just start filling this out because they listed a lot of tasks in a short amount of time. And I would say, it gives me that space to be like, well, who's going to do that? Anyone ever do this in a team meeting and everyone just kind of looks at each other and is like, Have you ever been in that meeting where you're writing a lot of tasks and they all look at you because you wrote them down? I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the one stuck doing this. I'm not the SME. I'm the facilitator here. So that's why simply sharing your screen as we're writing, now I can actually drive what I want the action items here. Okay, we want to assign this to someone, Joe. And then what's a due date? Oh, I don't know. Well, why do we due date? Like, see, I can drive it right from here. But now someone says, oh, we need to upgrade the firmware. Again, maybe we have no clue what that means. And they'll even say, yep, Sam will do that and she'll do it by 2/25. And she'll grab the purchase license required. So we'll just make a note. Okay, great. Now I notice back here, we keep talking a lot of tasks. I'll say real quick for me, I missed the goal. I know we're here to install a new server and understanding what exactly that involves, which is great. The old server is out of warranty. What is our goal though? Like, why are we doing this new server? Just want to double check, like, why not something else? The old server is out of warranty. Do we still need this? And someone informs us that the goal is to continued support of financial processing without interruptions. This server supports one of our major financial processing processes, and they don't want it interrupted. So no interruptions. So as someone says that, okay, so we're going to need to coordinate, let's see, downtime and pause on processing, because there'll be some point we might need to take it down. We're not sure, but how about we assign that over to, let's see, Jeff will take that and get that done by, let's learn that a little sooner. Let's get that by 2:20 to know what needs to be involved. So maybe we got to figure out what exactly that is, because they don't want any interruptions. But see, now here's a clear goal. I'll ask Sam, that firmware, is that firmware still, is that needed to ensure we keep processing? And he's like, well, no, but because we're in on the server where it's, we might as well do it at the same time. Okay, Sam, that sounds reasonable. But if this item doesn't support our goal, now I've got a question about project scope. I've got clarity on the solution space. So now the project might say it's not in scope, but the solution is that we have to still upgrade this at some point. It's still a requirement, but we'll need to make a decision. Oh, it sounds like another task. Better write that down so we don't forget. Make decision on including a firmware upgrade. And we're going to give that to Jamie, and she's going to get that. She needs to get that done ASAP, as soon as possible. And that's, like you say, purchase license required. And we'll put a note up here, dependent on if in scope of project. So see, now I'm taking notes here. And so this is really powerful because people are seeing these things and they can lay it all out. Because if we pause and we don't share our screen as much, that we sit around even a physical conference room and we're having a great conversation, we're all taking notes differently. How many of us don't even take notes, or we let our AI recorders taking all our notes for us? And are we remembering to go back through it? And how your AI note taker finds action items versus how my AI note taker finds action items, are even those going to be different? See that consistency there, just visually showing your notes normally helps literally get everyone on the same page. And it can be as simple as at the end of the meeting, before you leave there, just say, all right, I want to share screen and go through that. We're here for the goal. I love goals, by the way. Always restate the goal, whatever you're doing. I love, love, love to restate the goal. And then, our project here, we're doing this because the old server's out of warranty. We've confirmed up, Joe, I need a due date here. So you can just go through it. And when I'm done, even still sharing and hit save and send or post and upload right into the Teams chat. Do this before you even leave the meeting. Wait a minute. Now I don't need to send meeting minutes. Now I don't need to send follow-up. Everyone saw it. It was recorded live in our meeting. The document was instantly saved and posted already to our Teams channel or SharePoint. It's right there in the Google Drive for people that can access. They don't have to wait for me to go back to my desk in between those other meetings, of course, right? And write up meeting notes. They're done. They're captured. You send them during the meeting. You don't leave it for afterwards if you don't need to. And so that's really, really powerful piece of just, again, it was a Word document. It was my notes. But after seeing that live, would you, like you say, and don't be afraid to throw it in the comments here. Would you be more inclined to show your screen just so that it helps get your stakeholders on the same page? Like, is that helpful in getting your work done? Like, what was the point of the meeting? Was it to find out items and more? So this is where the part on, like you say, visually sharing can be really, really powerful. That don't be afraid to share your screen. And my notes were clunky. Maybe that is the action item. I tease sometimes that when I'm live, here's the other piece. Okay. I had some spelling errors. I had to this is not formatted nicely. Like, look how it's a little hard to read. We could sure do some lines and make this nicer. Due date is a little easier sign. See, we instantly can make some more room, make it a little more user friendly. So I can do all this. That could be maybe the 5 minutes post meeting, or maybe you end the meeting 5 minutes early and you make it work a little nicer. Maybe copy this over into your Zoho projects or Microsoft project plan. But live, people are going to more comment on when I start writing, okay, Francis is going to chime up and be like, oh, no, there's no way that one's my item. Okay, Francis, if it's not you, we need to know who. Or if I put on here, Sarah, and we're going to do this by 3:12. Sarah say, oh, no, I can't do that by 3:12. I need things. She might not have ever spoken up unless we put her name and a due date here to drive out. Okay, what do you need, Sarah? What can make it easier? Can we meet that date? Does anyone else depend on the old one? So like Francis doesn't want to remove this till this is installed. Okay, that's good. Dependent, we're getting some dependencies here. Dependent on purchase of new system. Not the fastest of typer, the prettiest things. This is where a template could be really helpful to come into play. People, when you share your screen, 99% of the time, people are going to more focus in on the what's and whys and the specific how you're typing it or laying it out. They're going to want to clarify, continue support of financial processing. They say like, oh, we're only doing credit cards applications. We're actually not processing the actual credit card transactions, just the applications. When people can see it, they give feedback about this. And see, look, even here in Zoom, look what's happening when I'm using Zoom to, share my screen and go live here with you today. It instantly takes it away from you and me arguing over an item versus going, all right, Sarah, what's the date? Now me and Sarah aren't arguing. We're not debating. We're both looking at the project overall work and saying, all right, let's stick it in here. What do you need to be successful? And removes us from where if we're just having a discussion or you're on Teams or Zoom, and it feels like kind of, one versus one, you versus me in this debate about the planning and the dates and who's going to do what. Whereas again, if you share screen, now everybody is looking at the same thing. It's all the team against this item. All the team is working collaboratively on this one single output. And that's what you want from your sessions. You want people to see it, that they drive and they build buy-in to what you're already working on. So like right there, just meeting notes, I say again, George asked a great question and wanted to just chime in that I love doing visual note-taking to show. Now, I want to have some fun here because we have a few minutes left. I know we have people we have even, I love it, Marnoush from Iran in Tehran right now. Thank you for joining us live, which is great. And again, these are recorded. So, if you like what you're seeing or you think it's interesting, please share with your colleagues and friends. These are always free, always recorded. If you want to see me do something, let me do it live, okay? I am here to help you. So I want to show you, let's do a couple fun things, okay? How's this? I'll show you a couple fun things. Because I have to give a shout out to my good pal, Adrian Reed. If you haven't followed him, I'll make sure and put it in the chat because a great shout out to him. He's very visual, but he showed me a cool thing to do with XMind and how he takes his notes. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's get it over here. And so I'm making notes here to add to our chat because I know all of you are going to ask me when it goes on here. So let's see. XMind is the application for visual note taking that I learned from Adrian Reed. I'll tag him right here in the comments. See, this one's great. Live, you can follow him. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to his Black Metric mailing list, please do. He's got a great business analyst, a newsletter. It goes out quarterly. Really, really good. Okay. So here's where I love my maps for new ideas, new projects, new things starting, just to kind of understand what's going on. And so I like it. Central topic. Someone wants some, oh, oops. Let me get out of here. See, this is the fun, just live. Don't worry. Bear with me. They say we want some communication training. I'll say great. Okay. And they're like, okay, we need it engaging. We need it, interactive. All right. I can definitely do that. Okay. So when you say communication, I might say, what's the goal here? Like you say, what do we want to do? So we want better, let's see. So we might start goals here, and then I'm just going to add on here to insert. Let me just do this faster. Make sure I know how to do this. Main topic. And then see, you get the different ways. I can do goals. What are goals? What are you trying to attain? Oh, but as we're talking, we talk about different stakeholders. Who's actually going to be attending these trainings on here? So, what else do we need to be doing on there? So I'll put a subtopic on here. So they're going to tell me that, oh, the communication is the IT team. Oh, but we should probably add on here the project, let's see, the project office. They want to be part of this. And the marketing team has expressed interest. So there might be some marketing team members. Okay, great. Here, let me make this a little bit bigger. We can see a little more one time. And so I say, okay, back to your goals. What is it that you wanted to achieve with this? And we're like, so too many emails is a problem. Okay, great. What else is going on? I just, again, see, I let them keep talking, give me a chance to spell. No one's complaining about that. All right, give me another, what else do we want to achieve here? And we want, let's see, more awareness on project. So when I ask about that, I'm like, okay, clarify that for me. Is that like status updates, like status? Is that what you mean there? Or is it, who's involved, teams involved? I can just make some notes as we go, that they want to engaging and interactive. Okay, so what I can do on here is like, is whiteboard an option? I'm gonna start asking my technical questions. What about chat? Do we have a collaboration space? I can start getting all my questions ready to go, but this is where I keep some sanity check that I'm not just asking questions all over the place. They're categorized and they're visual on here to where you can see when we talk about a communication training, this is where, people, they ask me for the agenda. And so they have asked me already for an outline. Okay, great. And then I actually always do a facilitator guide so I can track the activities when we're going to need some pre-session materials. And then we're going to also need post-session materials. Now, as I'm thinking about it, post-session materials. And so pre-session materials, they wanted some verbiage for email for those signed up. So something to send ahead, pre-session materials, they want the session workbook. We're gonna have to get that ready. I've just brainstormed so fast here. But what do you think about the visual of this? Is this kind of neat? Is this powerful to see? What are we talking about? And could you imagine if 15 of us were all working on this at the same time? Ooh, might get a little chaotic and crazy, but could we fill out a lot of thoughts really quickly? Now, this is one way to capture thoughts, not the only way, not a right or wrong way, just one way. But how great to quickly see what were the topics. So that's where I love, like I say again, shout out the first time I saw Adrian Reed do this at a conference, because there were so many good topics with so many good talks and different presenters. How do you keep it all organized? Well, his summary was actually to go through this, and this is how he managed the information he was receiving. A visual speaks 1,000 words. So again, I put an X mind in the chat so you can see the comment. But let's have some fun with this. We'll take this one step further. I am going to have fun, and I'm going to go over to, I'm going to go over one of my favorite tools, because we do a lot with like process models. How many process models? And so I know we're at the top of we're getting tight on time. So I'm going to try to do this fast, but so you can see. Now this is Lucid Chart. I've just got it over here, but I do this all the time when I'm process modeling, is that, people are trying to talk about what's happening. And so I'm going to put swim lanes out there. Actually, you know what though? Let's not for the first one. Let's just start with a process, these are containers here. What I'll do is I'll just ask for, let's see, get into my flowchart, use template. All right. I'm going to delete. I'm going to start a blank one. I just wanted my shapes ready to go. Okay, here we go. Flowchart. So, all right, tell me about the starting, like you say, on how you file a claim. What starts it? Okay, well, we get a client submits claim. All right, then what happens after that? Okay, well, then a claim received, and then claim is reviewed, and then it's either decided if it's approved, decide if approved. Okay, decide if approved. And so if it is, then it goes here. We're going to pay claim. And if it's not, it goes to a review board. Okay, review board. And so I can instantly, as they're talking, I'm just laying this out. I'm going to just make some notes here. Approved, yes, as we're going. And to do this visually, again, people aren't worried about how, see this, people might not even notice my spelling error. But notice there's no swim lanes. There's no, like you say, I don't even have arrows on some of these. I tried to line them up, so that's kind of good. But the first part is, look how fast we can capture a process just by throwing it out there visually. That I encourage anyone doing process analysis is to visually capture the process model together. Do not write notes. Just write it live. Your post session is to clean it up, is to draw the lines, is to put on the swim lanes. You can do that post session, but get 90% of your content laid out, because they could sit here and say, whoa. This received, it depends what type of claim. Okay, so we got to talk about this, so it depends on type of claim. Okay, what do you mean on that? Well, if it's like you say, if auto claim, then it's going to go to, so we assign to auto department. But we only have one healthcare claim, and that goes to Joe. Okay, so if healthcare claim, then it's going to go to assign to Joe. And so, like you say, is there a position here, or is it always Joe? But see, we can start quickly getting information here because people have something to respond to. And that's so powerful in visuals. Now, again, I'm doing this live. This is how I take my notes, people describing. And I love to share it because I say, well, then at the end of the meeting, I'll say, all right, do I have my understanding correct? That when they file a claim, that file a claim, the client submits the claim is received, and we're going to determine the type of claim, correct? You told me that piece, so I'll clean this up. Determine the type of claim. And so we know where it goes. And then the claim will be reviewed. So see, this is why I don't like arrows live. So then based on it, we'll review the claim. So get rid of this arrow. See how they mess you up? That's why I always do arrows afterwards. See, look at this. Oh my goodness. Go away, arrows. All right. So then the claim will be reviewed, decide if it's reviewed, and then it's approved, or it goes to the review board. Is that correct? Are we kind of looking? Does that sound right? See, that's all I do at the end of my meeting. I've got 90% of it done, ready to go here, and that's it. But see, that's the power of visuals. Visually taking notes. Now, what form you use, that depends to you. What are you comfortable with? Have you seen some here today that just were like, that's different. Never tried that before. Is that something interesting? So that's where, again, just want to show you some of the powers here. It's a great question. What do I think about visually showing notes? I say share your screen, because the more you're transparent, the more people can see what you're doing, especially in these roles of business analyst, project manager, facilitative roles, where you're trying to help others get their good ideas in place. The more they can see their own ideas, see the better facilitator you are, and the better the solutions everyone will achieve. That's powerful, right? We don't want to waste our time. Make sure people are literally on the same page. So again, short but sweet little sessions. That's exactly what these collaboration chats are. I hope you like this. Definitely watch it. Again, share it to your colleagues, or if you're watching the recording, just share out the link. Let people grab it. And we're going to be doing this again. New topic next month. We're going to talk more about career paths. But if you've got questions, put them in the comments. Even if you watch the recording, still put the comments in these chats, because I'll respond to them and give more on there. So don't be afraid to go ahead and connect. Watch. This is for the next month's one. So make sure RSVP to that. You can just say you're going on that. I'll save it to LinkedIn and give you notice when you get going. But with that, I want you to really think about what you're doing with your visual note taking and how are you enabling others to literally get on the same page. So with that, everyone, I want to say thank you and aloha, and I can't wait to see y'all next month. Thanks for joining. Aloha.